Good morning, everybody. Welcome to STEAM Saturday. I have a fun activity for you to do today that you could potentially use as a gift for someone special tomorrow. It is Mother's Day tomorrow. So let's get started. This is a planting activity. So what we're going to do is, let me show you what we have for materials. We have seeds, and I have both marigold and peppermint. And I'll tell you about these in a few minutes. We're going to start with the marigold seeds, and if you look at it, I don't know if you've ever seen a marigold seeds, they look kind of funny. They look like this. I don't know if you're going to put them down on here. If you can see them, move them closer. Oh, they're falling off. But anyway, it looks almost like a little whisk broom kind of a thing. So what we're going to do today is we're going to plant some of these marigold seeds. And in order to do that, what we need is, and what we're going to do, you're going to present them to mom or whomever in a very special, unique way. This is called a seed pop, and it looks a lot like a lollipop. We are making do since we're all working with things from our homes. So I went out into the yard. I didn't have any lollipop sticks. So I went out into the yard and cut just some twigs, simple little twigs. They seem to work fine. And I also think once you plant this, you plant it upside down in your garden, so you have a little stick sticking up. It'll look perfectly natural, and you can even attach a little sign that says marigold so that you'll know what that stick is indicating. So, show you how to make a pop. What you need for that is some paper, and we can either, this on there, use this, I had some extra piece of printer paper, or what I did to create the one that I made was I went to my shredder and grabbed some shredded paper. It's already all torn up for you. This works great. If this is something that you have access to and you want to use, please have your big person help you to get this out of the shredder. I'm sure that you are not allowed to touch the shredder, and that is the right way to go. But most of them are very easy to access the shredded paper inside. So we're going to do a little recycling too. So here's some shredded paper to make it nice and colorful on the outside. Also need some strips of colored paper, and we'll need some water in a measure. We're going to use 3 tablespoons. And then I also created this little pot, very simple. I happen to have an extra one lying around the house, and I just decided to make it look fancy by putting polka dots on it. And the way you do that is I happen to have access to some of this craft paint and all kinds of colors. So I just put a dab on a paper plate, dipped my Q-tip in, and scattered some dots around. Another fun way to do that is to, especially for the little ones, is take your fingerprint to make fingerprints, and then it makes it even a more personal gift for mom or Nana. So we have the pot to put it in when we're done. So this makes for kind of a fun presentation. You could also write Happy Mother's Day Mom, or Happy Mother's Day Nana, or Auntie, or whomever you are planning on giving it to. So let's get started. So I do have directions for you. So these are the steps that I'm following, and you will be able to see these, so you don't have to try to remember everything. Okay? So if you're using your printer paper, you're just going to, and this is really good for parents. This is a really good fine motor activity, because you have to use those little tiny muscles in your fingers, and you're just going to tear it into little small pieces like this and add it to the bowl. And I will just gather them because I am going to use the shredder paper. This, and so on and so forth, until you have a fairly good amount. So that's the shredded paper. And then you also need the strips of colored paper. So if you have a big piece of construction paper, you're just going to fold it in half and then tear it in half or cut it like this and tear it into about a 1/2 inch size strips like this. Okay, now pretend this is some brightly colored construction paper that you happen to have around your house. Could I ask my able assistant to come do something for me? I need a cup of water, please. Very fortunate that I have someone here at home that is willing and able to help. Just a cup of maybe kind of warm water, if you could. So this is the process for these. And these you do not tear up any smaller than that, because you're going to use these to wrap around the outside of your seed bomb. Okay, so just wanted to demonstrate how I created those. Thank you, capable helper. I put those right in there. Okay, so now we're going to take our shredded paper, and I think I've got kind of a lot here. I think I'll take a little bit out, like this. And we're going to, according to the directions, you add 3 tablespoons of warm water. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And then you're just going to take your fingers and start mushing it up. That's kind of fun. It feels good. So it just looks like this. A little bowl of mush. Shredded paper and water, which we're going to turn into mush. So you just kind of squeeze it around, trying to get those pieces of paper to break down even more. Okay. Looks like maybe I want to put a little bit more, like a good size seed bomb. Another way that you can do this, or another way that seed bombs are used, is you, it's kind of the same process. You take air-dried clay and take a small piece, flatten it out, put your seeds in, put some more on top, roll it into a ball, and let it dry and harden, and then you take it to an empty lot somewhere that you think might look nice, having something growing, and you throw it. And wherever it lands, it will start to break down in the elements, the rain and whatever, and then hopefully the seeds will take root in an empty parking lot or empty wooded area. We'll have some beautiful flowers. Okay, so now you can see it's really starting to come into making that mush. Okay, so now what we're going to do, take a small amount, about the size of maybe a walnut, and put it in the middle of your hand and squeeze it down flat. And you can see the water is indeed coming out like that. And then the directions say to put about 5 or 6 seeds. So we're going to put some of these marigold seeds right in the middle. It's not an exact science. Yeah. We just want some. You see that? There's my mush, there's my seeds, and now you're going to cover the top with more mush. That. And now you want to squeeze out that extra water. If you've got a little extra mush in there. So that amount was probably about a good healthy cup of shredded paper, and it made a very respectable size seed bomb. Okay, so now your seeds are inside here, inside this paper, and now we're going to do the part that is going to turn this into a pop, which is, remember I told you about the sticks that I just went out in my yard and clipped, pretending this is a lollipop stick, and just shove it up inside like that. Okay, so now you have a pop. And I mean, I guess you could potentially present it like this, but we're going to